Zach Ellis writes creative nonfiction. Yay, creative nonfiction. His work has appeared in The Gravity of the Thing. He's read at Burnt Tongue, Lit Hop, and In Our Own Words, Glasgow, Scotland's LGBT Literary Festival. He is a contributing editor and writer for Rad Dad.
Oh yeah.
He enjoys short walks on the beach, mermaids, and fucking with people's perception of gender. What he really likes to do is write. Zach Ellis.
All right. I'm going to read two short pieces. First one is called Crushed. She made 6th grade bearable. She held my hand in a movie theater. She hugged me. She hugged me hard. She was a cheerleader in high school. Nice, but a year away from not nice. She was a co-worker who imagined herself a modern Anais Nin. She had photos of herself draped over furniture. She wrote a blog about her sex life and her love of all things phallic. She loved foxes. She loaned me a Bob Dylan CD. She got married and hyphenated. She sat in a chair across the room from me and asked how I was doing. She wore espadrilles. She said she hated To Kill a Mockingbird. She called me Nathan and held me close. She lived alone. She lived with her 3 kids. She needed groceries at 11 p.m. She called me Zachy. She called me honey. She called me baby. She was the reason I got the tattoo on my forearm. She was the reason I got the tattoo on my leg. She told me I was sexy. She told me short men turned her on. She said I wasn't a real man. She said she wished all men were like me. She was someone I never met in person. She was someone I met at an AA meeting. She had tender spots. She had a lisp that was prominent when she said shit. She threw her head back when she laughed. She looked down when she smiled and then peeked up to see if anyone was looking. She said she hated her hair. She told me her butt was her worst asset. She said she wanted different ears. She asked what I thought of her neck from far away. She told me he didn't understand her. She asked me what I thought. She said she could only sleep with tall black men. She sent me 5 texts in a row. She called me late at night. She answered all of my emails. She asked me to paint her a picture. She said she loved poetry. She said, read to me while I fall asleep. She said, hold me, but when I'm asleep, you go, okay? She said, I missed you so much, I just wanted to sit on your lap. She asked me to sit on the end of the bed and talk to her. She didn't cover her nipple right away. She showed me her collection of dildos. She showed me the new thong she bought for her date. She told me if circumstances were different, she might date me. She explained that circumstances meant having a cock. She said a strap-on was not the same thing as a real cock. She said, stop sending so many emails. She told me I had no boundaries. She asked me what I was thinking. She said she couldn't love a woman. She explained that she couldn't see me as a man. She told me she would always love me. She changed her phone number. She put my painting out with the recycling. She pretended not to know me. She had 3 Facebook accounts with 3 different spellings of her name. She didn't reply to my 3 friend requests. She broke my heart. She broke my heart wide open. This next piece is called Espadrille. 2 weeks after injecting testosterone into my bloodstream, I wanted to lick a woman's foot for the first time. Her name was Marianne, and she was sitting a few feet away from me at an AA meeting. We had been friends for years. I knew all about her drinking career, her 2 ex-husbands, and soon-to-be 3rd. Our conversations were limited to the 1 or 2 minutes before the meeting started when we'd rattle off the "how are you?" or over good coffee this morning dialogue to one another. The morning she came in wearing espadrilles that had a major heel to them, I remember glancing over and having this insane urge to stop the world for a moment so I could lick her foot, kiss her toes, remove the shoe and massage her foot, rub the bottom of her foot over my newly shaved head. I think I stared at that foot for a good 10 minutes. I'm not a foot man. I don't have a thing when it comes to women's bodies, at least I didn't when I was living as a woman. Women were not objectified in my mind, I thought. I'd read Andrea Dworkin a few years earlier and mentally assaulted myself for any porn I'd ever watched. Unless it was porn made by a woman, for a woman, with a woman's plot about women's issues before women were fucked by other women. Let's just say that when it comes to all things sexual, I break out in shame a lot. Ask my therapist, she'll tell you I have issues. I've always been rather vanilla in the sack, I'm afraid. I'm a cuddler, a fucking snuggler. I tingle when I think of spooning. I once had a girlfriend who I read poetry to in bed. I would spoon her and simultaneously kiss the back of her neck and try my hardest to remember whatever poem I could. It was a definite 10 on the hokey scale. Testosterone has turned me into the 13-year-old boy I never was. Before testosterone, my thought process when talking with a man or woman went something like this. He must really like that movie book band the way they're talking about it. I wonder if I could find that movie book CD and check it out. It sounds really good. To this. He must really tits like that movie cock book bra strap band the way tits. They're talking about it. Nipple? I wonder if I could tits look at that ass. Find that So Soft Tits movie cock tits book CD and tits check it ass out. It sounds perky, really good. Practice that a lot. Tits, asses, and cocks are all happily living in my brain 24/7. The sweet old breast, vagina, butt, penis, barely conscious person living in my mind has apparently sublet to his annoying tits, ass, cock, pussy, up all night cousin without giving proper written notification to the landlord, me. I don't like to admit that since taking testosterone, my eyes follow asses everywhere. For no reason I can think of. It's not like walking down the street, needing a cup of coffee, and then seeing a Starbucks up ahead. You know, you will probably walk in and get a latte. When I'm walking down the street and someone's ass is in front of me, I stare. I don't mean to, I just do. I don't have a goal. There's nothing life-saving about touching an ass. Yes, there is. No one really needs to do it. I just feel compelled to stare. Big, small, round, flat, male, female, it doesn't matter. Testosterone is not too selective that way. I inject testosterone twice a month to have a lower voice and facial hair. I put the syringe into my thigh so I won't have a period anymore. I am a pubescent man boy going through menopause. Sometimes my voice gets loud the way a man's voice does when I talk about nothing more important than the weather. Sometimes I get sad and want to cry and can't anymore. Sometimes I feel I could be the jerk standing on the corner watching all the girls go by while grabbing his crotch and yelling, "Hey baby!" Except there's nothing in my crotch to grab. Sometimes I'm amazed men accomplish anything at all. Mostly, I'm just a guy who wants to be good and who also happens to wonder about your tits a lot. Thank you.